Alright, so here we are in iMovie, and I thought we would just do a introductory tour to take a look at some of the basic screens. This is iMovie 10, and it is actually quite a bit different. I actually just upgraded to this, and it's quite a bit different than the previous version. So if you're on 9 or a previous version, I'd suggest that in order to be able to follow along, you upgrade your OS and version of iMovie so that everything looks the same, because the interface is completely changed in version 10. So with that said, let's take a quick look at some of the basic features. Now all of these we're going to be getting into way more detail as we walk through the ebook here and we look at the videos that apply to each section. So I'm just going to skim over the main sort of product features here, and then we'll get into much more detail in the forthcoming videos. So I guess the main thing to think about here is that we have these three tabs here up at the top. We've got the media tab. That's where we'll do our importing. We can edit our clips, our individual clips in that tab, or we could do them directly once we've dragged them into a project. Speaking of projects, that's the next tab. So if we click on here, these are all of our different projects. So you can think of these as individual movies. So you can see I've made a sample one here called My Bird Movie. But as you make more and more videos, they'll all show up here in your projects tab. And this is where you could, double click on one of your videos and start to edit it, start to work on actually producing a movie instead of just a bunch of random clips. And the third tab here is our theater tab, and that's where you can watch your movies. So once you've got a project that's been saved, you can view it in the theater, and so that's how you can preview them in a full screen kind of format. So basically you can think of it as your import kind of window, your editing window, and your viewing window, if that makes life easier. So as I mentioned, this is where you'll in the media is where you'll import your files. We're going to look more into that later. Once you're in here, you can make edits to the individual clip here, or once you're in your project here, you can see I clicked on the clip here, you can also edit them in here. So sort of a bit of overlap there between the two tabs. But you can think of just getting a basic workflow as importing, editing, and then you're going to add all your transitions, your titles, all of that in the projects window. So I think that's about all I'd like to say for now, because we're going to look at all of these tools and features in more detail in individual videos. The main thing is that you understand that in iMovie 10, which you're going to need, is you've got your three tabs here, your media, which is where you do your importing, projects, where you do your editing, theater, where you do your viewing.